Good evening to you tuned into UBC TV. Welcome to our second edition of News Tonight. It's me, Michael Jordan Lukomwa, and this is what we have for you this time round. Uganda is set to establish a trade hub in Belgrade, Serbia, as part of its strategy to enhance presence in the Balkans region. The trade hub will provide a platform for promotion and selling of Ugandan coffee, bananas, chocolate, grains, and tourism, with the goal of strengthening export revenue.
A trade delegation from the Presidential Advisory Committee on Exports and Industrial Development, comprising stakeholders from the coffee, horticulture, tourism, beef, dairy and grain sectors, is set to exhibit at the Belgrade Trade Hub in a meeting attended by ministers from various key sectors including trade, ICT and national guidance, tourism, works and transport, science and technology, agriculture and foreign affairs. Prime Minister Nabanja emphasized that improving the country's export revenue is a crucial aspect of this initiative.
And our products will soon be available to consumers in Serbia and beyond. This is a very great stride, and I want to thank the President, whose support has enabled the public and the private sector to work together to implement the export promotion strategy.
The establishment of the trade hub in Belgrade is anticipated to hold immense potential for Uganda to strengthen its foothold not only in Central and Southeastern Europe but also across the 11 Balkan countries.
This will mean that they have allowed us to export a number of products in Uganda, from Uganda, and we have to add value fast here in Uganda. We process the coffee, process the tea, prepare the fruits, the flowers, and many other items which we have.
So this partnership is very, very important for us. And at Science, Technology and Innovation in Uganda, we are really looking forward to strengthening our collaboration and working together with our partners in Serbia and the gateway that it provides for us into Europe.
Audrey Ruawogo, chairperson of the Presidential Advisory Committee, says he is optimistic that the trade hub will unlock new opportunities for Ugandans.
So we want to go to places where we have had a bit of entry point and where we're not avoiding competition, but where we will find a softer landing. And Serbia, Belgrade City provides that. Secondly, Serbia has a very good trade representative who is a businessman, who has spent his own resources to set up a hub and once has invited Ugandan companies to sell products in the hub. What an amazing opportunity. The government of Uganda is not spending on that gentleman to set up a hub.
The establishment of the Belgrade Trade Hub aligns with the broader plan of the Presidential Advisory Committee on Exports and Industrial Development to establish similar trade centers in selected markets, acting as comprehensive one-stop centers for accessing Uganda's diverse trade opportunities.
The number of casualties resulting from the attack on Pondwe Lubiria Secondary School has tragically risen to 43, with the recent passing on of Mambu Felista, aged 43, due to severe brain damage at Wera General Hospital. As investigations continue, authorities are actively pursuing more suspects connected to the attack. Our reporter Ivan Kahwa is on ground and also visited Mpondo Lubiria Market, where he observed a noticeable decline in activity as the business community shuns away from holding market transactions for the time being.
Mpondo Lubiria cross-border market serves as a vibrant epicenter for a wide range of activities where the business communities from the Democratic Republic of Congo and Uganda engage in various transactions. The ambience at the market is vibrant and energetic. To ensure the safety and security of all individuals within the market premises, stringent security measures have been implemented. Now, following the incident that occurred at Mpondo Lubiria Secondary School, some members of the business community have not turned up for the market day at Mpondo Lubiria cross-border market. Now, the locals are requesting government to increase surveillance along the borders and as well increase on the number of security personnel guarding the market.
Because most of the mourners are still trying to bury their bodies, their relatives in Congo similar situation is happening. Most of the people are still also running away from the rebel attacks. Then you have no any vendors or traders from Congo. Also the border is also like that.
We are very few people. People has been reduced because of fearing.
Tulwalero tetukoze sente osanga watunzeyo pay emu pay abiri.
Buli ayingira mu katale ayazibwa era kuno kwe kwongera abasirikale mu buli nsonda okuli abapoliisi ate n'amagye.
Bulijjo bano abasirikale ababadde batukebera ku miryango babeerawo babaze luvannyuma lw'eyo incident.
Waliwo yabeerawo kale abasinga tutambula misana kati emisana babeerawo misana naye ekiro simanyi oba babeerayo oba tebabeerayo naye ng'emisana babeerawo basangawo kuba ku makya ssaawa emu paka ssaawa nga 3.
The vigilant security personnel diligently carry out their duties, creating an atmosphere of safety and confidence among the market goers. The smooth movement of people and goods between the two countries via the Mpondwe border is a testament to the efficiency of the border operations. Despite the activities and influx of individuals, the border management authorities have streamlined procedures to facilitate seamless cross-border movements. In the midst of these positive developments, significant progress has been made in the investigation of the attack on students in Kasese.
But we shall give a comprehensive information through the UPDF media systems. That will be done very soon.
Afande, how soon is the deployment going to be made following the letter by the President? That
very soon the President is here to give us the go-ahead and how it will be done.
So, Afande, we've also ascertained that the locals are saying that those who attacked were actually donning in military attire. Have you gotten that information?
That one I'm not so sure because I don't think there's anybody at night who was there taking photographs of that. Because if he was there, he should have given us that picture. To say they were donning military uniforms, no, it's not very easy.
For now, the number of suspects, Afande?
I think we are just arresting people whom we are only suspecting, like 3 so far known, but we are not so sure whether they are really part of that.
Unfortunately, amidst the ongoing investigations, another victim of the ADF attack, a devastating incident that shook the region, has succumbed to death. This heartbreaking event has raised the total number of casualties to 43. Ivan Kahwa, UBC News in Kasese District.
The National Resistance Movement leadership in Parliament has appointed Badej Laibi Division Member of Parliament, Ojara Mapenduzi, as chairperson of the Public Service Committee of Parliament. MP Mapenduzi was threatened to be dropped by the opposition wing as chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee for Local Governments last year after he spearheaded a move to censure Francis Zake from his parliamentary commission job over misconduct. This comes at a time when Parliament, in its 3rd session, allocates members into various sectorial committees in the House.
Honorable Mapenduzi resigned from being a chairperson on the other side.
The Speaker of Parliament, Anita Amoko, first read to the MPs a resignation letter of MP Ojara Mapenduzi as the chairperson of Public Accounts Committee in charge of local government.
We acknowledge his resignation and accept it. However, he has reports to present. He should be able to present those reports because those are the reports of the House, not his.
This resignation is long overdue since the leader of opposition in Parliament threatened to relieve MP Mapenduzi of his duty as the chairperson for Park local government early last year. It followed a controversy where MP Mapenduzi led Dikram to censure Michana Municipality Member of Parliament Francis Zake over misconduct, losing his position of a parliamentary commissioner. This was blocked by Speaker Anita Amoko and had since fallen silent.
Honorable members, you don't force somebody to be where he doesn't want to be. So you let him go.
As Parliament resumes operations in its 3rd session, the House made changes to sectoral committees, witnessing the NRM leadership utilized the services of Mapenduzi and appointed him chairperson of Public Service Committee.
So a member cannot be with the opposition today. Yes, tomorrow is with the NRM. The Constitution says you can only change affiliation during the final year.
Has he changed the affiliation?
Yes, he was here working with us. Now he's being read the other side.
My gratefulness for having been given the opportunity by NUP to perform that function as chair, which function I believe I did to the best of my abilities. So I want to thank NUP as a party for giving me that assignment. And by the way, the assignment was purely based on my experience and knowledge on local government issues. It has nothing to do with NUP as a party. I have never been a member of NUP. So that is it.
So for me, I think it is unfair for some members of parliament to play that donkey, ponky-donkey play.
Ujara Mapenduzi is an independent representative in parliament who was deployed by the leader of opposition to head the Park Local Government Committee until his resignation.
I designate the Honorable Olanya Gilbert as the chairperson of the committee on the Accountability Committee on Local Government and Public Service.
Daniel Mugoya, Gloria Gwitabinji, UBC News.
Parliament still has approved the retrospective expenditure for the financial year 2022-23, paving way for further support for controversial Atiak Sugar Factory. A total sum of 1.4 trillion has been agreed upon as an amount spent under the mandatory 3% limit by government under a condition that law must be clearly defined. Atiak Sugar Factory secures 274 billion despite facing a rejection by the MPs on several occasions.
The third session of the 11th Parliament started on a high note this Tuesday afternoon as the House seeks to amend an act by Parliament mandating supplementary expenditure within 3% limit.
We pass this thing and we start on a clean note.
The lawmakers have over time spotted a gap in the exact expenditures to be incurred under the 3% limit as MPs satisfactorily claim that government is abusing the law.
Actually, there's no 3% in the Constitution. It spells out clearly that for any money that will be spent, Parliament will have to approve. Now the dilemma, Right Honourable Speaker, is that Parliament spoke in a budget process and rejected expenditure items and told the Minister of Finance, don't go ahead and spend on this money.
The next supplementaries will not pass it. We will not pass it if they don't do what the House requires. I am not putting, I am saying this is something that has been ongoing. We have had meetings every day, almost with a shadow.
The controversy hails from a budget which was rejected for financing Atiak Sugar Factory by the MPs, but resurfaced under the 3% supplementary limit.
Atiak is very clear, Right Honourable Speaker. We have given Atiak a colossal sum of money now amounting to over 500 billion, 600 billion. But to the dismay of this country, and I have reports from area MPs who come from that part of the country, there is nothing to show that there is value for money. We have hemorrhaged this country to that extent.
274 billion of which part is to allow government to acquire preferential shares in Atiak Sugar Factory has been approved in the 1.4 trillion supplementary expenditure within the 3% for the financial year 2022-2023. The controversial Atiak Sugar Factory ceased operations in April 2022 and has been battling with Equity Bank over unpaid loan, prompting government to come to its rescue. Daniel Mugoya, Gloria Gwitabinji, UBC News.
The judiciary has mourned fallen Justice of the Supreme Court, that is the late Lady Justice Stella Rach Amoko, by holding a special court session. At the function held at the judiciary headquarters in Kampala, judiciary eulogized the deceased for being an incorruptible judicial officer and for the tremendous work she rendered towards the sector and the country during her life.
At 2:30 p.m., the casket containing the body of Justice Stella Rach Amoko was at the judiciary headquarters in Kampala to be accorded the special court session. The Chief Justice Alfonso Munyidolo, in his speech, read by the Deputy Chief Justice Richard Butera, sent his condolence to the family of the deceased, judiciary and the country for the loss of Justice Stella Rach Amoko.
Lady Justice Stella was the most dependable person, an administrator of the Supreme Court who promoted harmony and collegiality. She exuded and exhibited admirable judicial temperament. Her death is a big blow to the judiciary family. She had never been involved in any disciplinary matter. She was thorough and delivered her judgments in time.
Government, in a speech read by the Attorney General Chiriowa Chiwanuka, applauded the service rendered by the late to the country during her entire life.
Arach did not serve the judiciary only. Justice Arach served 18 years in the Ministry of Justice, then served 26 years in the judiciary. So Justice Arach has had 44 years of service to our country.
The Principal Judge, Dr. Flavian Zaija, talked highly about the late as a person who upheld her oath of office with integrity as a judicial officer.
In such a situation where you expected her to raise her voice, she didn't. And of course, she would mentor as we make mistakes as young advocates. So as we celebrate her life and contributions, I also condole with her family, relatives, and friends, the judiciary, the people of West Nile, the nation and East African region at large. Particularly I condole with the Ambassador.
Ambassador James Yudure Amoko, husband to the late, described Justice Stella Rach Amoko a faithful person and an incorruptible person. He, however, thanked all those who contributed something to save the life of Stella Amoko, though God decided otherwise.
She was indeed incorruptible, and she faced a lot of challenges because of this attribute. Honorable Lady Justice Stella Rach Amoko, we love you for serving this country diligently. Thank you for having a heart for many. We pray that God, in His mercy, will open His loving arms.
Justice Stella Rach Amoko, who breathed her last at Nakasero Hospital on Saturday last week, served in the judiciary for over 20 years and was remaining with the year to retire as a judicial officer.
We continue to offer our heartfelt condolences to Ambassador Amoko and the family, His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda, the Chief Justice and the entire judiciary family.
And contributor to the business of the Commission, especially in the disciplinary proceedings, where I experience insight, determination, and integrity.
Very hardworking, always researching, correcting other colleagues. You write your judgment, you give it to her, you know she will give you what she thinks. Very stimulating, better. So we are all going to miss her.
The judge of Supreme Court, but yet, if you met her on the road, you'd find her discussing with the lowest cadre in the judiciary, conversing with the office attendant in wherever she moved. That kind of humility is a rare one.
At the time of her passing, she was the administrator of the court, assisting the Honorable the Chief Justice to manage the day-to-day activities of the court. She was well-grounded in the law and had mastered the judicature. She was a great support in ensuring that the rules were adhered to strictly in the interest of justice.
In a period of 1 year, judiciary has lost 3 judicial officers, among others, Justice Lubi Apio Aweli, Justice Kenneth Kakulu, and then Justice Stella Rach Amoko. Deborah Namamode, UBC News.
May her soul rest in eternal peace. Minister of State for Older Persons Dominic Mafabi Gidudu has implored older persons to utilize the Parish Development Model Program to start up income-generating projects. Speaking at the general meeting of the National Council for Older Persons, Mafabi said he will conduct a nationwide evaluation exercise to oversee the implementation of the program.
Programs such as social assistance grants for empowerment, social enterprise grant for older persons were introduced to benefit at least 1.7 million older persons in Uganda. With the coming of the Parish Development Model Program, State Minister for Older Persons Dominic Mafabi has encouraged them to explore and start up projects.
Whether it brings in some little money or not, let the activity be there. Of course, the government has a certain capacity. There is a limit, but this limit can be increased when the old people themselves participate in their livelihood.
The Minister for Older Persons is yet to carry out an evaluation exercise on how the parish development model is being implemented for older persons.
In the month of July, I'm going to do random checks in parishes to know, first of all, whether the parish development model is being implemented, 2, whether my elders have circles, 3, whether they are getting their 10%, because there we can't compromise. In every parish, we must have our 10 million, which is 10% of 100 million.
The program, in its initial stages of implementation, older persons do not seem active to participate, as there is still room for sensitization.
Some of them, they are not assertive what the young ones.
We have indicated that they should get themselves alone, elderly persons, in a group and form a circle so that they get the money themselves alone. So,
the chairperson, National Council for Older Persons, emphasizes the need for monitoring if the project is to improve livelihoods.
Of the Older Council for Older Persons and the district leaders and state leaders and the municipalities to monitor government programs.
Marian Umcha, UBC News.
The legal team representing 11 NUP supporters who are facing charges of unlawful possession of firearms and terrorism have asked court to dismiss the charges preferred against the accused for delay of prosecution.
The 11 National Unity Platform supporters include Katumba Abdara, Sechide Muhammad, Sechide Hamid, Kalyango Muhammad, Kairugara Wirba, Male Sulaiman, Muyondo Hamid, Makumbi Isa, Magala Umal, Reste Birunji Bossa, and Farida Masaba. The 11 are facing charges of unlawful possession of firearms and terrorism, which offences they all pleaded not guilty to. The accused before Magistrate Salana Musobya, prosecution led by Sharon Nambuya, told court that inquiries in the case are still ongoing, thus asking court for more time. Prosecution submissions, however, raised the concern to the accused's legal team, who asked court to dismiss the charges against the accused for delay of prosecution.
I invite this honorable court to form an opinion in regard to a reference the Constitutional Court with a question as to whether it is unconstitutional.
Prosecution asked court for more time to make a reply to the defense's submissions, which court granted. Although some of the accused had wanted court to grant them bail, this was impossible on count that the court has no jurisdiction to handle the offences against them. The accused have been remanded to Luzula Government Prison until 4th July 2023. Talking to the accused's legal team, promised to file an application in High Court for the accused's bail application.
We take exception of what is happening right now because the proceedings by their nature and the direction they are taking right now amount to nothing else but persecution. It's no longer prosecution. You look at the trend right from inception. They initiated the proceedings when they didn't have a specific charge to be preferred against their accused person. Actually, they indicated they were coming up with a holding charge.
That is against human rights. And a person who appears before court must be heard expediently. Justice delayed is justice denied.
The 11 National Unity Platform supporters were arrested in areas of Kampala, Naweru and Kawempe. Deborah Namamonde, UBC News.
Ebiseera by'okuzaayo abaana mu masomero tebiteekwa kukaluubiriza n'akatono. Eno kusimba nnyiriri mpanvu kano kalipagano ka bidduka. Simanya kuzunga na banka siripsi. Kati osobola okusasula school fees z'omwana wo ate n'okola n'ebirala ntoko ku ssimu ye ey'omu ngalo. Ekikola kyangu nnyo. Nyiga bunyizi *685*8 ogoberera ebikulagiriddwa oba okozese app ya MTN Momo. Ate kati okola ki olwaleero? MTN Mobile Money Uganda Limited erungamizibwa banka enkulu eya Uganda.
Attention coffee farmers, traders and processors. Uganda Coffee Development Authority has important advice for a successful harvest season. Pick only red farm cherries to achieve good weight and high quality coffee. For natural processing, dry coffee on tarpaulin, concrete or clothing to avoid mold growth. Avoid heaping coffee on the floor. Store coffee in jute bags and in ventilated rooms on wooden pellets. For more information on good harvest practices, visit your nearest extension worker or Uganda Coffee Development Authority offices.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Mold Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602 963. Visit our office in Kampala at Sayuni Complex in Tinda. Mood Technologies, your professional research firm.
This is the University of Africa. On the streets, you get your real education. Here, everybody has a degree of something. But the most important qualification is imagination. His reason is to be the GOAT. The reason to imagine is to take the beat and make it lit. So no matter what your situation, just use your imagination.
The drilling of development and production wells for the Kingfisher project in Kikube district started in January 2023. While the delivery and assembly of the 3 drilling rigs for the Tilenga project is ongoing. Enabling infrastructure works for the other required facilities, including the central processing facilities, well pads, flow lines and camps, remain on course. The produced resources will be commercialized via the East Africa crude oil pipeline, which will run from Uganda to Tanzania, and the 60,000 barrels of oil per day Uganda refinery project, which will be constructed in Hoima. These projects are bringing investment of $15 billion into the country. The Petroleum Authority of Uganda, creating lasting value in Uganda's oil journey.
This isn't just a girl. She is the future. This is a teacher, a doctor, a community leader, our future president.
She is our family's pride, and as her father, I will protect her from child marriage and talk to her about the dangers of teenage pregnancy. We each have a role to play in empowering our teenage girls to protect them from child marriage and pregnancy, because when we empower them, we empower our nation. Protect the girl, save the nation.
Take action. Report any case of defilement or child marriage to the police or call Sauti 116.
Dear Airtel customer, we know that there are days when unexpected stays in hospital stand in the way of your family's welfare. That is why Hospital Center is here to give you up to 100,000 shillings every night you spend in hospital. Hospital Center also offers up to 4 million in funeral benefit. Dial star 185 star 7 star 6 hash to purchase Hospital Center on Airtel Money for as little as 1,000, 3,000 or 5,000 shillings a month. Your cover for the first 1 month is free. Hospital Center is underwritten by Prudential and powered by Turaco. Prudential and Turaco are regulated by the Insurance Regulatory Authority of Uganda. Airtel Money is regulated by the Bank of Uganda.
The Presidential Advisor on Special Duties, Audrey Rabogo, has tasked the youth to utilize existing resources to create employment and improve on their household income. He was meeting the Yellow Power Development and Mobilization Association group in Kasangati.
Yellow Power Development and Mobilization Association, under its slogan Kuromutuwa Wansi, is a youth group reawakening the NRM support at community level. The group mobilizes communities to create awareness on government programs.
Mukakasente mulondola programu za gavumenti zibatukeko omuntu wa wansi aberenga asobola okuziganyulwamu.
At the Mindset Change meeting, the Presidential Advisor on Special Duties, Audrey Rabogo, the association leaders, placed challenges on mobilization.
We need someone who can stand with us as omuntu wa wansi.
Tugenda ku division batuyisaamu amaaso nine tugamba tujjagezaako.
The RDC Kasangati, Chaze Frank, says the initiative targets winning numbers for the NRM party.
Ensonga teri nti twagala kudda nti kudda buzzi. No, twagala percentage kujongerako bwongezi. Twina gikolerera.
The Presidential Advisor on Special Duties, Audrey Rabogo, tasked the association to welcome everyone in this mobilization. Rabogo preached how to develop the country through creating wealth to improve household incomes.
It tells you that they have reached a stage where they say, I can do it myself. I am enough. Government programs are there. I can find a way to get there. If I don't, I will create something of my own. So I'm very, very excited about this. Using it as a model for other things.
He urged the Yellow Power Development and Mobilization Association to carry out this initiative through uniting everyone. Lydia Chomkama, UBC News.
The Electoral Commission officials in Oyam district today spent the whole day waiting for aspirants who made no show on the last day of nomination for the Oyam North Parliamentary by-election. 5 candidates who booked for nomination today failed to make it before the commission.
The nomination hall in Oyam district remained empty until the close of nomination exercise after aspirants who had booked for nomination on the second day failed to turn up. 9 had picked nomination forms and 4 showed up on the first day. Unlike the first day, the 5 who were expected did not turn up before the Electoral Commission. Unconfirmed reports indicate that aspirants who had showed interest as independents were allegedly engaged by NRM to withdraw in favor of Samuel Ingola, son to the late minister.
We have senior leaders in Lango and NRM. We are going to do our work as a party because politics is talking to people in order to seek a reconciliation.
I've been at the venue here and none of them have presented themselves, and it's 5 o'clock. And these are Umuna Peter, an independent candidate, Moto Julius Peter, independent, Queen Dorothy Amolo, independent, Omodo Willie Kagere, independent, Oto Isha Amiza, independent.
Because the local people... Police, however, warned nominated candidates against breach of electoral laws.
The Electoral Commission gave us guidelines. Should you go out of those guidelines, then be sure that we shall be with you and correct you.
Daniel Okello of National Unity Platform, Samuel Ngola Okello Jr. of NRM, Dr. Eunice Apiotoko of UPC, and Fred Newton Okello of Forum for Democratic Change were nominated yesterday and will officially commence campaigns on Thursday after harmonizing campaign programs tomorrow, Wednesday.
The nomination exercise closed with above 4 candidates nominated, and harmonization of their programs will take place tomorrow at 10 o'clock, my office in Loro.
Oyam North Parliamentary seat fell vacant on 2nd May this year after the Member of Parliament, also State Minister for Labour, retired Colonel Charles Okello Ngola, was gunned down by the bodyguard. Electoral Commission has set aside 6 July as the polling day. Eddie Olua, UBC News.
Government of Uganda is affirming commitment towards providing a safe haven for refugees seeking asylum in Uganda. Minister for Relief, Disaster Preparedness and Refugees Hilary Onek was speaking during the World Refugee Day celebrations in Lamore district, where he urged refugee-generating countries to embrace dialogue for peace to prevail.
They are not here by choice. They were forced by circumstances beyond them. Most of these refugees are from South Sudan, a country that has not been stable for some time. They say it is high time their leaders spoke with one voice for the sake of the citizens they lead.
But in the rural area, there is still that fear whereby you think like if you have to go home, something may happen. That is why up to now we are still here.
All they seek is peace. All they need is harmony. And all they crave for is reconciliation. These, they say, will be very good drivers and avenue for development back home as well as lasting peace. But how? As they sing and dance, they are filled with ideas on how lasting peace can be achieved. Here are some of their suggestions.
Leadership in South Sudan should be engaged in dialogue, and also to make them to come up to the settlement and witness how people are suffering in various settlements.
Similar to this is the message that the chief convener of World Refugee Day in Uganda has carried. Engineer Hilary Onek is the Minister for Relief, Disaster Preparedness and Refugees.
Peace should be managed by their government. It is a matter of sacrifice, really. How come Uganda here with the multi-ethnic groupings? We have in the north the Mayuge, we have in the central there the Bantus, we have Nilo Hamites, but we all have agreed to be together as one nation. What is difficult in those countries which are practicing nepotism, tribalism to feed themselves? Why can't they tolerate each other?
It is through generosity, mandate and support of humanitarian agencies that these refugees have survived. United Nations High Commission for Refugees and Uganda Biodiversity Fund are some of them.
The Uganda Biodiversity Fund is contributing to reducing the problem of the tree cover, and in particular it has brought 460 hectares of trees that have been planted within the surroundings.
There are situations whereby we would have children who are not accompanied. What do? We look for foster families to cater for these children who are not accompanied.
Finding lasting peace for these refugees to return home is what now remains pending. That is the message that has dominated World Refugee Day celebrations.
We believe these countries of East African community, if they can be tolerant of their differences and maintain peace, most of their citizens will go back.
The 2023 World Refugee Day has been celebrated under the theme, Hope Away from Home, a world where refugees are included. Henry Okrut, UBC, Namwa District in northern Uganda.
As the world commemorates World Refugee Day, aimed at celebrating the strength and courage of people who have been forced to flee their home countries to escape conflict or persecution, on this year's theme, Hope Away from Home, a world where refugees are always included, some refugees have made a difference in their host communities.
Bella Nshirimirimana, a Burundian refugee, fled her country in 2021 due to political instability and resettled in Kampala. She faced challenges in her host community.
First reached in Naki Valley settlement, and I found myself that I was still insecure and I had to come here. Reaching here in Kampala, it was very, very difficult. I never have anyone who could support me. I didn't know Luganda, I didn't know English, so what I knew it was only my local language plus French and some Kiswahili. But I never knew that there are some people that I can talk to in either French or Kiswahili. So I got someone, it was a Somali refugee in Kisenyi. She supported me, and I passed through labor because I was pregnant. I gave birth to my firstborn in 2011. And I remember that time too, I was so horrible because I couldn't understand myself.
Within the host communities, refugees in the communities have found safety and have started life afresh. In 2013, they started up a group called Mirror Group Network for other refugees in the community to install hope in them and promote peaceful coexistence within the host communities.
One of the talents that they know more about Mirror Group, it's about our cultural dance, the drumming, the Burundian drums. We had to use those, but we had challenges because we never had the drums. But at least we could dance our traditional dance. That cultural dance could give them a sense, of belonging and also having hope.
Nshirimirimana appealed to fellow refugees to stay positive and look beyond their status.
However much we are struggling on how we can cope in this new life here in Uganda, let us continue, trying to look all avenue that in the positive way on how we can continue supporting ourselves, because these other funding that we are looking for, they will come to us when we are already able.
Dawala Kodi is a refugee from Sudan. Under their women group, they participate in shoemaking, tailoring to boost their income.
We were uplifted by NRC, and they do monitor and make sure that we are progressing. Despite the challenges we go through, they always come on board and discuss how can we bridge that gap.
Laura Marshall, the country director of Norwegian Refugee Council, notes that there is urgent need to ensure refugees access basic necessities for survival, but also included and empowered in societies.
I mean, there's one big challenge that I think everybody is facing now in Uganda, from OPM to the humanitarian community and also the development community, which is that there is currently insufficient funding for support to Uganda to support the refugee community as large as it is. So at the moment we're over 1.5 million refugees in Uganda. We haven't seen the funding committed underneath international commitments to really support that, and I think that one of our roles as an international organisation is to raise our voices and say that Uganda needs a lot more support to be able to fulfil its obligation.
Norwegian Refugee Council is a humanitarian organization that is actively working towards creating an inclusive environment for refugees. Zahara Abigaba, UBC News.
Residents in Mayuge have reported to the Prime Minister Robin Anabanja the continuous arrests of fishermen that have claimed man lives in water. The residents also want Nabanja's intervention on their alleged forceful eviction in the government Busoga forests by NFA. This was during the belated Women's Day celebrations in Mayuge district, organized by the woman MP Hajat Rukia Nakadama.
Residents of Mayuge district dealing in fishing are under pressure from arrests by the Fisheries Protection Unit. The unit was introduced by government to curb the illegal fishing on the lake. The Prime Minister Robin Anabanja promised to address the variety of issues in Mayuge district by reaching to the President and Cabinet. She told them to continue supporting the NRM government and embrace development programs like UPE, USE and the PDM. The third Deputy Prime Minister Hajat Rukia Nakadama said the proposal for Mayuge residents to plant palm trees instead of sugarcane was not welcome in the district. Yana Francisco, UBC News.
The Doctrine Development Technical Committee established by the Inspector General of Police, Martin Ochola, and Directorate of Chief Political Commissariat have camped in Busoga region in Uganda district for consultative meetings, collecting opinions and experiences for formulation of the new police doctrines.
The Uganda Police Force are meeting police officials countrywide to improve police relationship with the community and other elements of government.
Principles on how to do our work, but this time around the doctrine is going to be our guiding document which embeds all principles that will guide the best practices in police.
This will also check on welfare of officers and establish principles that support the development and implementation of effective policing practices.
So as we are here in Busoga East, we have come for a stakeholders consultation to collect views, opinions, information from the different stakeholders, internally from the police officers and outside from local leaders, opinion leaders, cultural leaders and other stakeholders whom we think can add value to build on already the information we have, to close the gaps which are within already the draft we have, and also to get new information which is going to strengthen this document because it's going to live for a long time. It's going to be a living document which describes the best way police can perform its work.
The Uganda Police Force Doctrine is formulated on the opinions and guidance of Ugandan officers and local stakeholders, Southside Police, for proper policing practices. Joshua Kagoro, Yusuf Obo, UBC News.
We now take a short break. Don't miss what we have on return.
So when you pay your taxes, you are investing in the future of Uganda.
Uganda Revenue Authority. Developing Uganda.
Chebakalo gamba nti sente yura eze tukunganyamu zezimala okukola ebintu bino byonna enguudo amasomero ebye n'ebintu ebirala Mzee, aba basajja basoza sente nyingi nnyo. Olaba boda boda. Banza ke milioni aga.
Milioni ana.
Milioni ana zo boda.
Oza tundu okutunza emmere wa restaurant.
Nyabo, siko wa restaurant. Muchere, nyama bisi. Boba milioni nkaga.
Echi?
Ngari katachanza alina kawoshi ibeni na kabala. Mzee, kaza yake gofude mufi. Chichi?
Lekanawo. Lekera okulimba. URA era omusolo gwe bayita presumptive tax. Oba guyita omusolo ogwafa oba business obutono obuyingiza okuva ku milioni 10 paka ku 15 obutasukkawo omwaka.
Kati olonze banategera bati nyingiza yange.
Ate oba olina okukuuma ebitabo byonna ebikwata ku business yo. Ate ekyangu kwe kugenda gwe kennyini n'obeesooka n'obatwalira ebitabo bino ku ofisi zaabwe eza URA ezikuli okumpi. Awo ne babeera nga bagerekera omusolo omutuufu.
Ekitegeeza bali olina kwetega beetege.
Kyekyo bwe beetege bweteze osirike.
Ekitegeeza zonyanyira bulimbi.
Era bwe ate baakulimba nnyo. Kubanga ate mu ababoda mulina sasula emitwalo ejja omwaka.
Mitwalo ebiri?
Ale bulira gwesebu obadde oyogera ebigambo nga babikunyumiza n'otulimba abantu abakulu. Wamata kutunyonyole.
URA ekujjukiza okusasula omusolo gwo ogwa presumptive tax. Guno gwe musolo ogusasulwa abo abaddukanya bizinesi entono era gusinziira ku nnyingiza ya bizinesi yo nga gusasulwa omulundi gumu buli mwaka gw'ebyensimbi. Genda mu ssimu yo onyige kamunyenye 285 kadaala oba sasula ng'okozesa mobile money oba mu bank oba kozesa ba mobile agents. Uganda Revenue Authority, tukulaakulanyize wamu Uganda.
Glow as you are with the new Spark 10 series smartphone from Airtel in partnership with Tecno. Own the timelines with picture-perfect selfies using the 32-megapixel selfie camera, 256GB storage, G88 gaming processor.
The Spark 10 smartphone comes with free 3GB from Airtel, so you can stay connected to a world of possibilities. Dial *100*5# to enjoy free data.
Airtel, a reason to imagine.
In partnership with Tecno. Stop at nothing.
This isn't just a girl. She is the future. This is a teacher, a doctor, a community leader, our future president.
Their support meant so much to me. And as a teenage girl, I stayed focused and was protected from child marriage and teenage pregnancy. I will support other girls against child marriage and teenage pregnancy.
Take action. Report any case of defilement or child marriage to the police or call Sauti 116.
Jerry con. Jerry con. Hey, Master Blaster. Touch him, man. Buy Jerry con with muscle. Those ones who say go for you only. Mundava. Best group is I teach you. When I come with the muscari, because of the cover that is very far. Is you serious? It's serious you. What? Yeah? You step it on it. Add kilometers to your legs. And you get your sugar. We buy meat from Umaru. And Umaru refuse to give you enough meat. Mama! Show him that they don't joke with you. Umaru, Jerry car.
Okukakaluka n'okulungi kwetaagako omuntu akuyambako n'olwekyo tujja kukuteerawo embeera esaanidde osobole okukola ekisinga awamu tere kitulema.
Business news tonight. Uganda Revenue Authority has prioritized bridging the gap between the entity and taxpayers as a catalyst to widen the tax base. The Commissioner General URA, John Musinguzi, affirmed the tax body's continued commitment to improve tax collection during a post-budget engagement.
The Ministry of Finance has called upon Uganda Revenue Authority to popularize the 2023-24 budget in order to encourage the public's full participation.
Ministries, departments and agencies and local governments, civil society, development partners, the private sector, the academia and the community leaders. This indicates an all-inclusive budget involving stakeholders responsible for making critical economic decisions in this country. Ladies and gentlemen, the goal of the budget for financial year 2023-2024 and over the medium term is to accelerate inclusive and green socio-economic transformation.
With Uganda Revenue Authority tasked to collect 29.7 trillion during the financial year 2023-24, voluntary disclosure and alternative dispute resolution, among others, are among the measures geared at improving tax collection.
Also the approach, the suspicion, the attitude towards one another must change. For the right reasons, some taxpayers have noted us as tough, harsh, ruthless people who just want to take your money and do not care about the improvement of your businesses. This attitude or conception we must improve. We cannot allow that to go on and expect to have a good relationship with our taxpayers. And of course, at the back of our minds, if we have to be honest, we also have some suspicions about taxpayers. We think they don't want to pay, they only pay when you catch them.
Muhammad Nsereko, Member of Parliament, Kampala Central, wants government to better service delivery, especially in the urban areas.
Everyone who goes to a country, they are looking for the capital city. But the roads and the infrastructure right now in our capital city does not reflect the image that Uganda sells. Let's first work on our capital. We have the non-aligned movement coming in. Over 90 heads of state and government have confirmed being here in December.
With Uganda's tax to GDP ratio currently at about 13%, the tax body faces an uphill task of stimulating more revenue collection in order to accelerate Uganda's socio-economic transformation. Marion Awori and Crispus Arinitwe, UBC.
Farmers and beneficiaries of the Building Resilience to Enhance Food and Nutrition program in Kapelebyong district have commended the development initiative for northern Uganda for enhancing food and security nutrition in Kapelebyong. The intervention is in line with government initiative to reduce post-harvest losses and improve the quality of grain produced in northern Uganda.
The Office of the Prime Minister is implementing a project building resilience to enhance food and nutrition security project in northern Uganda and spearheaded by the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture. The project will enable skilled farmers of Kapelebyong to add value to their farm produce as a way of improving their livelihoods.
Increasing productivity of diversified foods. And for us within this consortium, we are making sure that farmers grow more and better in terms of cassava, rice and soybean. Those are the three main crops that we are using for commercialization.
The district received a new modern agro-storage facility constructed by the government of Uganda through development initiative for northern Uganda.
Soybean and sunflower and simsim and granules being grown, but these crops, if you only do 1 acre, you don't benefit. You should do more than 10 acres so you can get a bigger produce and you can get also bigger income. The second one is the parish development model, where we have seen the village hubs, the village market hubs and the processing areas. This should already be a pivot for mobilizing production under the parish development model.
The storage facility will help smallholder farming communities to access formal markets through group bulking and marketing.
So we have been also contributing in terms of post-harvest handling. The other issue we have been doing, we have been equipping these stores with moisture meters, making sure that farmers are not cheated, giving them the right kind of balances, electronic. So they are equipped, and all those we are ensuring to aimed at ensuring that we have better markets, farmers can sell.
The Dino initiative is aimed at addressing and identifying gaps in food storage capacity, post-harvest loss eradication, value addition, and collective marketing systems. Haruna Mutesa Sira, UBC News.
The Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Uganda and partners are holding this year's Financial Reporting Awards in November this year, with emphasis on promotion of sustainable environmental governance. The 2023 FIRE Awards, set for the 1st of November, are open to public sector entities, not-for-profit and private sector organizations, and aim at promoting financial management among corporate organizations.
We are focusing on those reports which not only focus on financial reporting, but also embrace the current issues.
The Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Uganda, in partnership with the New Vision Group, Capital Markets Authority and Uganda Security Exchange, are jointly organizing this year's Financial Reporting Awards, aimed at promoting the quality of corporate financial reporting in Uganda.
Other aspects of corporate governance, aspects of sustainability, aspects of communication, aspects of risk management, and the entire ESG framework.
The Chairman Financial Reporting Awards Committee, Stephen Ineget, says the best will be awarded based on their level of compliance with the financial reporting standards.
We are transparent. One of our virtues as accountants, we are very transparent and accountable, so we do not expect anyone soliciting a fee for submission.
Organizations have 4 months in which to submit their entries, the best of which will be recognized during the awards ceremony, slated for the beginning of November.
In terms of your environmental practices, how sustainable are your practices? Are you using, say, renewable energy? Are you recycling water? In terms of the social aspect, are you upholding the highest standards in as far as labor practices are concerned? Are you employing underage laborers? In terms of governance, how sound is your governance system?
The Financial Reporting Awards were introduced in 2011 with the aim of enhancing the quality of financial and business reporting in Uganda by encouraging the implementation of financial reporting standards and promoting the best practices in financial reporting. The introduction of the Financial Reporting Awards followed the adoption of the International Financial Reporting Standards for use in Uganda. At least 12 editions of the awards have so far been organized, and over 900 organizations have been impacted.
And then on 1st November 2023, we shall have the FIRE Awards ceremony, which is a gala dinner where we shall be unveiling the winners of 20.
Mary Namkose, Deogratius Habimana, UBC News.
And in sports news tonight, government has been urged to support games and sports in schools in order to promote talent among the youth. This was told to UBC that there are a lot of untapped talents in school. It was at the inter-house competitions of in Jinja, as we see in this report.
We have very many people out there, the Chiptegeis, who are excelling because of sports, athletics, and other talents that the children have, the inborn talents, can support a child to find a good life in this world. We have good students and we want to support them. The ministry itself is Ministry of Education and Sports, and therefore there's no way you can forego the sports. Definitely you have to put some money there to support the athletics. These children that excel in athletics come from homes, humble backgrounds, which parents cannot afford some of the fees.
That is all we had for you tonight. Thank you so much for watching from wherever you are. The best of the night. Don't miss our next program. Catch you tomorrow as we resume for work on the new day. Bye-bye.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
The Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, with support from the World Bank, will tomorrow, 21st June 2023, hold a national rollout and sensitization engagement on the Generating Growth Opportunities and Productivity for Women Enterprises GROW project. The GROW project, which aims at increasing access to entrepreneurial services that enable female entrepreneurs to grow their enterprises, will be implemented in collaboration with the private sector foundation Uganda. The project